right, so welcome back to the channel, guys. It is me, 8744. So today, guys, we'll be doing our league recaps of the top 5 leagues. And yeah, we should have a guest could be coming on soon. I don't know when he's gonna join. I send them the link, so let's see if he joins. And yeah, let me just tell him we're starting now. So, like I said, man, there's that. So remember to like that, hit the like button, guys. Hit the subscribe button if you're new on here, guys. And let's get up to 10 likes, man. Let's get up to 10 likes. Master John says, hi, AD. Thank you for joining, guys. Thank you for joining. So we're just going to wait around when Rank is going to join. Rank is going to be joining very shortly, I think. So, yeah, let's just wait for him real quick. So let's give him like 5 minutes. If he doesn't join in 5 minutes, we'll just get started with that. So, in the meantime, I'm going to, in the meantime, while you guys are in the meantime, I guess I'll be reading you guys' messages. All right. I was going to ask Sebastian, the guest, but apparently not. Yeah, Sebastian's not the guest. Sebastian's not the guest. Now, he may still appear in the chat. That I don't know, but he will not be the guest for today's stream. So let me just pull this up right here, guys. Let me just get my football ready just in case. We'll do that. So share my screen. And we should be getting started to brief this momentarily. And let me get the banner up. Yeah, banner's up. And yeah, hit those like target, guys. Let's get the like targets up. So like target for today's stream. It says 20 here. I'm going to change it to 10. Let me change it to 10. So 10 likes. That's a like target for today's stream. So get those likes up, man. Get those likes up. So I think we're going to start first. Actually, let's just wait for Rank. Let's wait for Rank and see if he's going to join. Let me just tell him we're starting now. All right, Rank is here. Let me get my headphones. Oh, wait. Oh, shoot. Okay. Thank you for joining, Rank.
Hello, hello.
All right. Hello, hello. Let me just get started. Sorry. I'm not really that prepared.
It's fine.
All right. So let's go ahead and get started. And Master John says, hola, Rank.
Hola, Mats.
Yeah. All right. So let's go ahead and get started, Rank. So sorry for the long introduction, guys. You're probably wondering why did it take so long to start. Obviously, we had to wait for our guests. And so, yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's fine, man. It's fine. So let's go ahead and do this, man. So since you're my guest for today, I'm going to let you choose a topic for today. Which league you want to start with first?
So we are doing top 5, right? So I think we should get on with the Premier League first and then go on from there.
Okay. I'll just put the timestamp at 5 o'clock, 5 minutes. So, yeah, by the way, there will be timestamps for you guys, for those watching the replay. All right, so let's go ahead and go to the Premier League first. We don't have a lot of people here, unfortunately. Hopefully get more people as the stream continues. So let's go from, how do you want to do this? You want to talk about top from bottom or bottom to top?
We can go bottom from top. Bottom to top.
Okay, so Sheffield United, I mean, what is there to say about this club?
I mean, Sheffield is a bit of an interesting team because I've noticed that in their past few games, they've actually been putting up decent fights against some teams. They've been scoring some goals here and there, but for the most part, yeah, they've been horrendous. It's their problem is not really their attack; it's that they concede a lot of goals. We see that they've conceded 54 goals, which is a bit insane. That's an average of more than 2 goals per game, and you're not going to survive if you concede that many goals. And yeah, it's clear that it's safe to say that they are going to be going down, even though there's still some games to be played. I see no hope for this team, honestly.
Yeah. Now I believe they did get. Correct me if I'm wrong, Frank. I believe they did get a draw against Sheffield. Was that not Sheffield against Aston Villa? Was that in December or
Yes.
January? I forgot.
It was in December, I'm pretty sure.
Okay. So I'm actually a bit late in saying that.
Like you said, like they've been putting up some decent results. It's just that they concede a lot of goals. I don't see yesterday, not yesterday, on Tuesday, they were actually leading against Crystal Palace. And I know Crystal Palace is in a mess of themselves, but they ended up losing that game too. So you see Sheffield, at times they put up decent performances and they score some goals, but it's just that they concede too many.
Yeah, their defense is very leaky. So I don't think it's really a goal scoring issue. I think it's more of the defense being an issue. I agree with you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, and then moving on to Burnley. Burnley, man. I just feel like I feel like. Do you think there's like they're just not good enough for the Premier League, or do you think like it's just too? I don't know. It's kind of hard for me to say. Yeah. Do you think they're not good enough?
It's tough. Honestly, I was someone who was very high on Burnley. I thought they would survive initially. Right now, it's weird because same thing with Sheffield. They do have some good performances here and there against Aston Villa. They also scored 2. They also picked up a draw against who is it? They've been picking up some decent results here and there, but something doesn't seem to gel up with this team. I feel like the amount of signings they made did not really benefit them because we see that this team doesn't really have any cohesion. Most of their games they look lifeless in my opinion. So I don't know what's wrong with Burnley. I feel like they should be good enough, but they clearly aren't. So I feel it's safe to say that they will also relegate.
Yeah. See, the thing is, I think it's really harsh to blame on Company. I just think that the squad, like he's doing the best that he can. It's just that I just don't think the squad is good enough. And because like I said, there's a huge difference between Premier League and Championship. It's not the It's not just like it's a huge difference. So, I think it'll be really harsh to sack Company after one season. Because let's be real, they're probably in the likelihood of getting relegated, or at least close to relegation if they don't get relegated. So,
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's a tough situation for Burnley, and they're obviously playing a different style of football. They're not playing defensive football as they used to, as we primarily recognize them as.
Yeah, obviously.
So, yeah, and then at the Everton,
it's tough. It's tough for Everton because obviously, they are a team that should be better than the teams around them. Obviously, they got that huge 10-point deduction in the middle of the season. So they should, according to their results, they should be on 28 points. They should be mid-table. But I was confident that they would survive anyway. But now seeing their form, I'm starting to get many doubts. You see, of their last 5 games, they've only picked up 2 draws. So it's not really looking great. Their next game is against Spurs as well. So
wow,
it's getting dire for Everton. I'm getting worried for them. Obviously, I think the relegation battle. I think Bournemouth is the last team that is completely safe. Everyone below them is like in danger for me. I feel like Crystal Palace. They've been picking up a few wins here and there, but they were horrendous before that. And Brentford and Forest and Luton are like the other teams that will be fighting relegation with Everton, in my opinion. I'm getting scared for Everton because I did predict them to get relegated, but not in this fashion because they were actually playing great. They got the 10-point deduction and now they're tanking again. So I I hope they've turned things around, honestly, even as a Liverpool fan, but it's getting dire at the moment.
You know, I even heard rumors. These are rumors, by the way, guys. That they might get another point deduction. I heard rumors, and now if that happens, Everton's screwed. Everton's screwed up.
Yeah,
those are rumors.
Super hard.
Yeah. Do you think they're gonna get the points back, or you don't think so? Just at this moment.
At this moment, I don't think they are gonna get more points deducted, but I don't think they are getting their points back. I feel like they are gonna have to survive with this handicap, which is gonna be tough.
Yeah, see, the thing is, Everton team is good on paper. It's just that it's just mismanaged. Like the amount of players they've sold, they haven't got proper replacements. Like I still don't think they have properly replaced Richarlison.
Yeah, goal scoring has been an issue for sure.
Yeah, I feel like the goal scoring has been an issue. I don't think it's really defense. I think it's more the goal scoring. I think they just need to score more goals. Luton Town, man, this team is actually. Could this team actually survive?
I mean, in their current form, definitely. Like we see that in their last 5 games, they pick up 3 wins and a draw. That's actually 10 of their 19 points. Like half of their points they've gotten in the last 5 games. Like before that, Luton were very clearly about to go down, but right now it's looking like they might actually survive. They went past Everton this weekend, so. I don't know. They are going to be fighting with Everton, definitely. It's not for sure that they are going to survive, but with this push that they've gone on this past month, I feel like it's definitely possible that they survive.
You know, it's really commendable at Luton. They're getting results against, like, they're playing about good fights against the top 6 teams, which I thought those top 6 teams would blow them away. You know, if anything, they haven't. So that's really commendable. Especially at home, they're looking amazing. And they got 2 big wins over Brighton and, of course, Newcastle. Well, Newcastle was last month, but you guys remind me. So
yeah,
interesting. Nottingham Forest, man, I'm very worried for Nottingham Forest. Especially the goalkeeper department. There's been Matt Turner, my USA goalkeeper's made a lot of errors, and I feel like they might ship him out at this rate.
Yeah. I've seen that there's going to be a goalkeeper from the Belgian League that is going to be joining Nottingham Forest. So I feel like I don't know if he's going to instantly be the Matt Turner replacement, but I feel like it's going to be tough for him. It's a tough situation for him. Like you said, he's been making many mistakes. And also for the other Americans, Gio Reyna is going to Nottingham Forest. So that's someone else that they have to look out for and just hope that Forest survive. Personally, I hope for Gonzalo Montiel that they survive, but it's looking bleak. They've been dropping a lot of games. They've been losing many. For now, they are surviving, but they're gonna cut it close again. Like the past few seasons, they've been cutting it close. They've been making a lot of signings and just barely surviving. I feel like they're either gonna barely survive or they are going down.
What do you think is the issue with Nottingham Forest? Do you think there's just like too many players they're signing, or do you think the defense, or do you think the attack, or do you think it's like a combination of all 3?
I would mostly pin it on like the signings they are making. They are not making quality signings to build on a project. They are making like quick signings just to survive, and they are bringing in so many players so fast and shipping off so many players so fast that they are not allowing their manager or whoever to build any cohesion or structure in the team. So I feel like they need to actually take things seriously, make a project, and make real signings that they can build upon long term.
Yeah, don't just sign for sign. Like you need to have like long term ambitions, which we'll get to one club that is failing to do that, but we'll get to that club in a bit. But Nottingham Forest, man, and then there's obviously Vlachodimo. So like, how many goalkeepers do they have? Like, geez, it's
a lot.
So I don't know what's gonna happen. Here's a prediction, guys. I have a feeling one of Vlachodimos or Matt Turner is gonna get sold this summer. I have a feeling.
Yes.
Who is it gonna be? At this moment, it's probably gonna be Matt Turner.
Yeah, I feel like we can skip over like the middle of the pack and just go straight to what everyone wants.
Yeah.
Now that we've talked about the relegation battle.
Yeah, let's just do a quick word for like Brentford, Palace, Bournemouth, Fulham, and Wolves. I guess like they're all like mid-table pack, right?
Yeah.
They're all probably going to survive.
I mean,
But
Brentford
everyone
and
else.
Crystal Palace, in my opinion, are going to be in the relegation battle just because I think that they are both in awful form. Like, even though they are 4 and 6 points clear of Everton right now, like of that survival line, I feel like both Brentford and Crystal Palace at the end of the season are going to either barely survive or one of them is going down. So I feel like they are going to make it close. Bournemouth, I think they are going to survive because, yes, they've lost a few of their games, but I feel like they are actually a very decent side. I feel like Milos Kerkez has been an amazing signing for them in the left back position.
And the manager's been amazing.
The manager has
fantastic.
been amazing. Solanke is still putting up great numbers for them. So I feel like they are going to survive. Same from Fulham and Wolves. Wolves, who has started horribly, they are now looking much better. So yeah, I feel like all of those teams, Bournemouth, Fulham, and Wolves, are going to survive, but they are going to end up in the middle of the table.
Yeah, I think Brentford will be fine. Ivan Toney's back, and by the way, I think Ivan Toney scored just after coming back for a long time,
which is insane. Yeah.
So, yeah, dude, if they didn't have Toney, I would be very worried for them. I agree with you. They've been a relegation battle without Toney, in my opinion. But I think Toney, they'll be fine. They'll be safe. All right, now we're gonna get it up to the top 10, where everyone is discussing. Of course, our favorite club is in 10th place.
Yeah, forever 10th place, Chelsea. I feel like that's just where Chelsea belongs nowadays, which is crazy to say. Like, they are one of the biggest clubs in the world potentially, and yeah, to see them in this state is kind of sad, even because it's actually a bit better than last season, I feel like, because at least now Chelsea is beating teams that they are supposed to beat. We see that Cole Palmer and Sterling and Kunku, Nicolas Jackson, they are like kind of start patting against the lower tier teams, and when push comes to shove against like the top 6, Chelsea is just not performing. The team looks horrendous. We saw it against Liverpool that they basically and Kunku scored a goal basically because like he had a moment of brilliance, but the team looked incredibly lifeless. So yeah, I feel like Chelsea, they got obviously some great players with all the money that they threw out, but it's not gelling up together, and they are gonna have to make big readjustments if they want to be back at the top.
Do you think Poch should get sacked? Because I've heard a lot of Chelsea fans. Because I feel like when I go to the Chelsea fandom, when I see on Twitter and social media, I feel like they're very split. Some of them want him sacked, some of them want him to keep him. Like, it's very split.
I'm kind of split as well, because I feel like Chelsea for once should decide to build on a project, because I feel like that's been the main issue for Chelsea, that they don't have a project and they need something to build upon. And I feel like the manager should be the main thing that you need to focus on when building a project. That being said, I feel like Pochettino is not the right man for leading a project. I feel like he's not that good of a manager, if I'm being honest. So on one reason, I understand the decision to sack Pochettino if you don't think he's the right man, but I also think like they need to build upon something. They need to start somewhere, because if they sack Pochettino, they are back at square one. So like, it's a tough decision to make for sure.
Oh yeah. And my thing is that if you just sack Pochettino, will things really change? Because for me, I think I think Rank put it out there. What's a project for Chelsea? What is their ambitions? Are they trying to build for the future? Because if you're trying to build for the future, then the fans shouldn't have these high expectations. But if you're trying to build for the now, which I think they are, like, I don't know, it's weird because they're spending so much money. If you're spending so much money, you shouldn't be trying to win stuff now, right?
Yeah, very much. Like, if you're willing to spend so much, then you need to get like the big name players and the winners and everything, and it's just not working out for them. So they either have to continue on this trajectory and hope that at some point it gels up and they can be back in top 4, or like just try to take it slow and build upon a project, which I feel like would be more sensible.
Yeah. And obviously Cole Palmer has been amazing. He's probably been Chelsea's best player this season. You could probably make a strong argument.
Sheffield and stuff, but yeah.
I think he's been Chelsea's best player. Would you agree?
Yeah, I can agree with that, but like that's not like a huge statement to make, I feel.
Oh yeah, of course. All right, then we're talking about our favorite Manchester club, or should I
Jesus.
say, Worcester divided. Oh, man.
So where do we start with United? Because it's been a massive downgrade. Like obviously last season they made top 4, and everyone was saying we're so back. And this season has been a complete disaster, bombing out of the Champions League and now out of Europe currently. So it's not looking great. Obviously they were very unlucky with their injuries, but I feel like also their transfer window is finally blowing up in their face. Like we saw how Mason Mount has not featured in any game. Like I don't remember what he looks like anymore. Yeah,
to be fair,
yeah. And we also saw how Onana has been working out for them. Obviously, he was out for the AFCON recently, but even in the AFCON, he was being replaced. So
yeah, you did call it rank, because I remember in the beginning of the season you said Onana would be a very skeptical sign. You weren't so convinced.
Yeah. If there's any positive from them, Lisandro is back, so that is huge for their defense, and he's been playing more in the FA Cup and stuff, and I feel like he looks great. And for United, they need to figure out that attack. Like you look at their goals scored compared to the teams they are around. Like Chelsea has scored 12 more goals than United, and Brighton has scored 14. So like goal scoring is the main issue for United this season. Rasmus Højlund, who was the player they signed to score goals, has not been delivering, at least in the Premier League. And their wingers, Garnacho is on and off, and Anthony really doesn't score goals, so it's not looking the best. Yeah, and obviously the form that Rashford has been on was also a problem for them.
Yeah, I agree with you, Rank. I think the big issue for United is just the goal scoring. Like they just haven't been able to have a consistent goal scoring force in the Premier League. Like Rasmus Højlund is actually starting to kind of somewhat turn up at the last month. He had a decent month. I think he scored against Spurs, if I remember, and I think he scored against Villa, although that was in December. But my thing for United is just that they don't have any great attackers. Like I don't rate any of the attackers that highly,
Yeah,
and so that's a problem. They don't have a cold-blooded finisher, because you can create a lot of chances and everything, but if you don't score, it doesn't mean much, But then obviously Casemiro is also back as well, which I think will give them more defensive stability. I feel like without Casemiro, you can see how vulnerable United's defense is and how weak it is, and so I think it brings so much to the defense as well.
Yeah,
and obviously Onana has been very shaky. So I do think they'll do better in the second half of the season compared to the first half with those injured players back. But will they have enough to push for the Champions League? Because that's where I'm going to judge them by. Because for me, if they don't get Champions League, this season's a failure. I don't care, even if they win the FA Cup, you have to win. You have to get top 4 or top 5, I should say.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
Right, for the standards that United has, at least they need to be in the Champions League, obviously.
Yeah. All right. Next up, it is Brighton, Hove Albion.
Brighton is such a weird club, man. Like at times they look like one of the best teams in Europe, and then you have the random games like last weekend where they lost 4-0 to Luton Town. So what do we make out of Brighton? Because honestly, I feel like they are just too defensively shaky to push for anything important. I feel like I don't think they are gonna win the Europa League, and I don't think they are gonna make it into the top 4 or top 5 or that regard again. So I feel like they are gonna sort of stay where they are. They are gonna win some impressive games, and they are gonna lose to some random teams because defensively they are very shaky. We'll have to see what some of their signings are going to do. Of course, they are going to get Valentin Barco from Boca, so that's a player that I know is going to most likely turn up for them. Depends where the Serbi decides to employ him. But yeah, it's very hard to tell with Brighton because they can be great at times and sometimes they can look really, really bad.
Yeah. Do you think injuries are a concern for Brighton, or you don't think it's excusable?
Well, I think it's excusable with Brighton because they don't really have a deep squad like the other big teams. Like, because they have a shorter squad, I feel like injuries affect them a lot more. We saw that when Stupinian was out for like many weeks, it really hurt them, especially offensively. So
Baji's
I
also
feel
injured
like,
for a long time.
yeah, now with Stupinian back, I feel like they are potentially gonna pick up some of that form. But it's not. It's very hard to tell with Brighton how they are gonna do. Honestly, always very skeptical with this team because of that defense mostly. I feel like Bart Verbruggen, who was their signing for goalkeeper, has also not been very. He has also been very shaky in some games. So yeah, I don't really know what to make out of this team.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. Maybe they might go all in for the Europa League, which I don't know. What do you think? Do you think De Zerbi should go all in for the Europa League, or focus on Premier League, or kind of go a balanced approach and see what happens?
I feel like he should go all in the Europa League. I feel like because these type of European competitions are mostly like home and away ties, it's easier to upset bigger clubs per se, rather than staying with in a league where you have to be consistent. I feel like Brighton are not a consistent team, so that benefits them most for a competition where you only have to win a few ties to win the whole thing, So I feel like he has a higher chance in the Europa League to do something that in the Premier League.
Yeah. All right, moving on to Newcastle, man. That away win at Aston Villa.
They finally won a game.
Finally. After 4 L's. Jeez. Oh, man.
Yeah. I'm regretting my decision to put Newcastle in the top 4 again, because they have not looked. They were so good last season, and this season it has not been great. They, again, same as Manchester United, they bombed out of the Champions League, and it's been downhill. They've been losing game after game after game. They've been losing to teams they shouldn't really be losing to. I know they also had some injuries, but I don't think it's an excuse with Newcastle, because they have a much deeper squad than Brighton, in my opinion. And yeah, the amount of L's they were taking was just abysmal. Finally, they picked up a win, but we'll have to see if this means that Newcastle is back and they're going to start picking up some form, or if they are going to go back to being an inconsistent mess. I don't know.
Do you think I've been hearing rumors that Eddie Howe might get sacked? Now, what do you think? Do you think it's fair, or do you think it's a bit harsh? Or let's see how the season ends.
I think it's harsh. I feel like we should at least see how the season ends, because Eddie Howe was the man who we mostly thought responsible for the success of Newcastle. I don't think that having one patch of bad form is enough to like sack him, like to undo everything that he's done. So like, I would give the man more time. I feel like he has gained himself more time because of his previous great performances. So I wouldn't sack him. I feel like I would at least see how the season ends, and then try to see what we do in the summer.
Yeah, I think for Newcastle, I think someone put out here in the chat. We'll get to your guys' chat or comments in the back. Someone mentioned in the chat. Do you think the Champions League kind of fits? Do you think the Champions League was an issue for Newcastle because of the fixture congestion, that kind of stuff, or you don't think so?
Yeah, potentially, especially because Newcastle, that group was so close that Newcastle had realistic chances to make it out of that group. So I feel like they kind of went all in the Champions League, and it kind of hurt them when they got eliminated eventually. So yeah, I feel like the Champions League may have affected their performance in the Premier League for sure.
Yeah, and obviously Nick Pope being injured for a long time, having Dubravka. Obviously, Dubravka is a decent goalkeeper, but let's be real. Nick Pope is way better. I think we can all agree that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, Newcastle, very on it. And another thing I worry for Newcastle is their away form. Their away form has been great. It's been terrible. It's their away form, especially. So
yeah.
Then moving on to West Ham United. I cannot believe West Ham is doing this well without Declan Rice.
Yeah, definitely. I was one of the people who thought West Ham would again be around the mid-table, because obviously they won the Conference League, and that was amazing, but they really struggled in the Premier League. And now that they don't have Declan Rice, who was by far their best player, I thought they would really struggle. And Actually, they are doing really well. They've been on great form right now, and they are on their way to being qualifying again for the Europa League, which they are playing on currently, and they have a realistic chance to win, in my opinion. So we'll have to see, because they made some fantastic signings that I think went under the radar. Like James Ward-Prowse has been fantastic for them. Kudus has also been amazing. And other players like, obviously Bowen, Suchek, that always seem to perform for them. Ariola, I feel like it's a great goalkeeper. So, very underrated team, West Ham, and I feel like they are proving everyone wrong, and it's good to see them do this well, obviously.
Yeah, that Kudos sign has been fantastic. What a sign that has been from Ajax, And also another player, I don't know if you mentioned, James Ward-Prowse has been fantastic.
Yeah, I did say, yeah. It's amazing.
Yeah, and that's Alvarez has been great. And also, here's the thing, guys. When they sold Declan Rice, I believe they replaced Declan Rice. They used that money to get 3 players, right? Will that sell?
Yeah, like Edson Alvarez, Ward-Prowse. I don't remember who else, because Kudus came in a bit later, but it was used for that. And like they spent their money very intelligently, which I overestimated how good their signing. I underestimated how good their signings were. It flew under the radar, like I said. And
it also just shows that one player doesn't have to be like that. And it shows that one player doesn't have to be that huge difference. That they could cope well without Declan Rice. Because I think I was the main critique this season. How well are they going to do without Declan Rice this season? They're doing fantastic. They also topped the Europa League group. They're in the round of 16. They're in the 6th right now, and who knows? They might even be able to get Champions League this season, which will be amazing for them.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to 5th place, Aston Villa. Unai Emery, man, what a job he's done with this team.
Yeah, of course. I mean, Aston Villa has been, like we see in their form, in a bit of a slump. Only 1 win in their last 5 games. Before this, they were like, people were saying they are going to contest for the Premier League. I thought that was obviously a bit too ambitious, and we see now that maybe it was a bit too ambitious, but still, the job they've done is completely amazing. They are currently on their way to make the Champions League next season, which would obviously be huge for Aston Villa. Like I said, right now, poor form. So like they have to be careful that West Ham and potentially Newcastle catch up to them. But for now, they've been looking great. Obviously, Emi Martinez, I think it's one of the best goalkeepers in the world. I'm not going to say the best, like people are in the prices and stuff. He's still one of the best in the world. And obviously, all the players that have been turning out for them, Ollie Watkins, McGinn, it's just been working out really well for them. I feel like their defense, when they don't have Pau Torres, looks very shaky. Pau Torres was one of their best defensive signings, in my opinion. When they don't have Pau Torres, they do look defensively shaky, which is my main worry for them. But after that, like going forward, I feel like this team has so much firepower. Moussa Diaby was a signing that I loved from Bayer Leverkusen, so I feel like they have done a fantastic job. Obviously, all the respect has to go to Unai Emery, like you said.
Yeah, and obviously their home form has also been incredible as well. They haven't lost. They have been unbeaten for a long time at home, and finally, I believe Newcastle ended that streak. So, yeah, it's an incredible streak. Even able to get results against Man City, Arsenal is pretty incredible at home. So,
yeah,
and I think they won both of those games, right?
Yeah,
that's crazy, man. That's insane. All right, and then Spurs, man. I got to give credit to Spurs. I thought NJ Postecoglou coming into the season, there was a lot of issues with Spurs. Obviously the fact they sold Harry Kane. NJ Postecoglou, how would he do? And I thought they would really start without Kane, but it feels like Son has taken the burden and has now been that difference maker. So,
yeah, for sure. You have to give a lot of credit to Spurs, who last season missed out on Europe, and now they are on their way to potentially being in the Champions League again. So, they had a lot of struggles with injuries mid-season. Obviously, like Bentancur, Maddison, these players are coming back now, and they are helping a lot to the team. Obviously, Vicario, I feel like, has been a fantastic goalkeeper. Like,
fantastic.
Spurs don't miss Hugo Lloris like at all. Vicario has been really, really good. Christian Romero is one of the best defenders in the league, and even I don't think I would ever say this, Richarlison has been actually decent. Richarlison has been turning up for some games, which I didn't think he would do. So, like, even goal scoring, they've been doing a lot better. Obviously, Son and Deki, Kulusevski are being the main driving force offensively of the team. But yeah, they've been doing really great. Udogi and Pedro Porro are two other players like down the wings that I really like. So yeah, this team is very complete, very competitive, and obviously they still have the Spurs in them. They are gonna lose some games here and there, but overall they are really good, and I feel like they are gonna be in the Champions League next season.
Yeah, and now I do think people were getting too carried away at the beginning of the season. I remember people saying they were title contenders. I knew they were not title contenders, and I think it's heavily shown. But yeah, they're definitely Champions League contenders. They're definitely trying to get to the Champions League. So yeah, and the Arsenal, man, I'm a bit disappointed with Arsenal. I don't know about you. Do you agree with me?
I was disappointed, but it seems like now Arsenal has remembered how to play football, and I'm a bit scared because obviously the next game is against Liverpool at the Emirates. Yeah, I'm a bit scared that they suddenly remembered how to play, because before that they were obviously on an awful streak where they were losing random games and not looking that good. Right now they won 2 games in a row, one of them in very convincing fashion against Crystal Palace. So, you know, it's weird with Arsenal because they are obviously a really, really good team. They are still in the Champions League, which obviously we'll see how seriously they take it, or if they are going to try to push for the Premier League again, because they have obviously the potential to contest the league. I don't know if they're going to win it, but I feel like they are going to contest it. It's getting kind of scary for me. For Arsenal, I feel like it's starting to look bright again, and just we'll have to see how they go from here, because they won 2 games in a row and potentially they are back. I don't know. We'll have to see.
Yeah. So, is Arsenal? Do you still think Arsenal are title contenders, or they're just here to get top 4, or do you think you're kind of unsure?
I'm unsure. I feel like they can contest the Premier League. They can be up there, but I feel like Arsenal are their worst enemy. This is something that I said in the Champions League as well, that if Arsenal play to their strength, they can make the semifinals. But I feel like they are their worst enemy, and at times, you know, they lose these random games and they get lost and they don't know what to do, or their players decide not to show up. And I feel like that's mainly what kept them from winning trophies last season. So, yeah, it's tough because I feel like Arsenal, like I said, have the ability, but whether they will fulfill that potential, I'm not really sure.
Yeah, because for me, I feel like I'm kind of also with you, because I also feel like Arsenal can't do this. It's just that it just feels like at times they just aren't consistent enough. They mess up too many games, and I still don't really trust Gabriel Jesus in big, massive games against the top 6 teams. Okay, he may do well against, like, you know, the likes of Nottingham Forest and what is it called, Sheffield United, these kind of teams. But when it comes time for those big top 6 clashes, I don't know if he's going to show up. I personally don't think he will. So. And obviously, Bukayo Saka has also been getting a lot of criticism this season. Martinelli as well. Arsenal's attack this season has not really been that great in the big games. You can make argument. So
yeah.
And then finally, your club. Actually, we'll get to. Well, actually, your club is first. Actually, sorry, Manchester City second.
Let's go. Well, Manchester City. I'm getting scared because, you know, Haaland is back, De Bruyne is back, so. We know Man City. They've been in this position before. They were 2nd or 3rd place previously, and they went on a crazy win streak, and they ended up winning the Premier League. We've seen it time and time again. If they win their game in hand, they will only be 2 points behind Liverpool. And obviously, I'm very happy that we drew the game at the Etihad, because the game we have against City is going to be at Anfield. It's just very scary to be in that position again, where if you slip up once, Manchester City is gonna catch up to you. So that's very scary. I feel like Man City, obviously, they've been doing great. They are on a crazy win streak again. They were struggling a bit when they were missing mainly De Bruyne. I feel like De Bruyne was the main factor that they were missing. Creatively, this team doesn't look the same without Kevin. When Kevin is on the pitch, the team looks 10 times better, I would dare to say. Julian Alvarez was always banging in a lot of goals, but the creativity wasn't there for Manchester City. Obviously, Rodri is the best CDM in the world, but the creativity wasn't there without Kevin. And now that Kevin is back, I feel like Man City is going to keep up this great form, and it's just going to be a matter of fact. It's just going to be a matter of, is Liverpool going to be able to keep up with that?
Yeah. And now I did see a stat here that they haven't lost a game with Rodri. And when Rodri hasn't played, I believe they haven't won a game without Rodri. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I'm not too sure about that stat, but seems believable because Rodri, like I said, best CDM in the world, no questions.
Yeah. And then, Manchester City. And we know what they typically do. The first half of the season, they drop a little points here and there, and not that consistent. But the second half of the season, they go on an insane winning streak. They're like, if they go on an insane winning streak, I think it's gonna be tough for Liverpool, because for me, guys, I'm gonna say this right now, it's between Liverpool and Man City for this title race, in my opinion. If Man City don't win it, it's gonna be Liverpool. I don't really trust Arsenal, to be honest. So it's between these two, in my opinion. And Liverpool, man, can you guys win the Premier League? Especially, I mean, I'm sure you heard about the news. I even put in the thumbnail about Jurgen Klopp leaving.
Yeah,
it's probably devastating.
Yeah. I was very sad when I heard it, because it's been so many years with Klopp and so many things that we achieved together. When Klopp arrived, Liverpool was an Europa League team, and now, we won the Premier League, we won the Champions League with him, we won so many titles. Winning the Premier League again with Klopp would cement him as one of the best coaches, if not the best coach of all time that Liverpool has ever had. He will be up there no matter what, but sending him off with another Premier League would be fantastic. And we can do it. I know we can. I feel like, sadly, we are going to have to beat Manchester City at Anfield, which we can do. We've beaten them before they're at Anfield many times. But I feel like it's going to be necessary, because at some point we are bound to slip. We are going to drop a few points. We're not going to win every single game that's remaining. So, yeah, it's going to be tough. I hope that we win, but Manchester City is obviously always going to make it super tough for us.
Yeah, and this game on Sunday is a huge game. Huge game.
It's a league deciding game. Like, it's so huge.
Yeah, and I'm just like, so when do you guys play Manchester City? I just want to check out of curiosity. And what's really been incredible
in March, right?
Actually, let me check. I don't even know. Hold up, let me check. Hold up, guys. Where is it? March. Yeah, March 9th. Okay, that's a big game. We might have to do a watch along for that game.
Yeah.
We might have to do a match reaction or something, because that's a huge. I agree with you, Rank. That game alone might be the title decider right there.
And we are lucky that it's at Anfield, like I said. But,
yeah. Oh, yeah. Because of Etihad, it is curtains, man. It's curtains. And Liverpool, man. And then I've been impressed with Liverpool this season. They've been so well. Like, the midfield's been looking amazing. Szoboszlai has been amazing. McAllister, and even with you guys have injuries, the other players must have, like Bradley's had a great game yesterday against Chelsea.
Yes.
Nunes is looking great. I know a lot of people are clowning Nunes for yesterday's game, but it's just one bad day.
Yeah, he hit the post 4 times. Like, that's just really unlucky.
Yeah, and I still think Nunes is a good player. I'd rather have a player that gets in those kind of positions than a player that does nothing. So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe you might disagree with me, but that's just how I feel.
Yeah.
So, and then Jota's been great. Jota's finally come back from injury. He's also very important. I feel like I feel like you guys kind of struggled without Jota last season. Because he was injured for large parts, I believe. Luis Diaz has been amazing as well. And yeah, the Liverpool is looking great, man. I think if there's a season to stop Man City, it's this season, because who knows how Liverpool's going to be without post-Klopp.
Yeah, it's a huge question mark for sure. We have to do it this season.
Yeah, let me just read some of you guys' comments. I'm gonna quickly go through the comments. I'm not gonna spend too much time, because we need to go to the other leagues, and we're already 45 minutes in, so
yeah,
we'll probably run it through short. But yeah, I mean, of course, it's the Premier League. We obviously we have so much knowledge and insight, so we'll quickly run through. Here they always refer to Sheffield United because there's a Sheffield Wednesday. There's even a Sheffield FC, the oldest club in the world, although rank. I keep forgetting Sheffield United, the Premier League. Okay, Aston Villa outside chance. No, I don't think Aston Villa is. I don't actually. I do. What do you think? Do you think Aston Villa can win the league or no? That's British.
No. I feel like their ambition should be to be in the Champions League next season.
Yeah. I don't think Sheffield United fans will take to kindly go on to just Sheffield. Well, I don't think I have any Sheffield United fans in my community, so I don't think I have to worry about that, Matt. But if there are any, we you know what I mean. We Balkan says, yo. Nicholas, okay. Burnley goes up and down. The company takes them back up. That would tell something. Sean Dyche did a decent job with Burnley. I'm supporting Everton. HCar says, why is Manson now getting board deduction? I prefer not to speak. If I speak, I'm in big trouble.
We all know.
Yeah. I'm not going to say why, but I think it's pretty obvious. Luton this season like Forest last season. A lot of people predicted Luton go relegated. Both have Ethan Horvath. Oh, yeah, Ethan Horvath. I wonder how Steve will feel about the Strasbourg keeper going in on Forest. Maybe Matt Turner should go the other way for him.
True.
Yeah, hit the like button, guys. Hit the like button. How many likes were on today's stream? Let's see. We are currently on 6 likes.
Let's get to 10.
Let's get to 10, man. 10's the target, man. Brentford had the potential fight for you, but they're missing Tony. Tony scored a free kick in this game. Yeah, I talked about that. Nkuku should be the main player when fit. Yeah, Nkuku is amazing, man. Nkuku should start. He needs to start over. Who is Chelsea starting ahead of him?
Let me think, because they were usually starting like Sterling and Nicholas Jackson when he was available at front. And
Nicholas Jackson's been terrible. I don't care what anyone says. Yeah. Definition mid-table club. How do you feel about Enzo Fernandez? If you haven't said nothing about that before. Yeah, what's your thoughts, Rank? Enzo Fernandez or
Enzo is really good. Enzo is really good. I just feel like Chelsea is not the club for him. I agree that Enzo was better last season than this season. I feel like last season when he first joined, he was basically carrying Chelsea from being.
That's true.
This season, I feel like he's not been as great. I feel like he's still good. I'm not 100% sure that he should start for Argentina, for example. I'm not 100% sure. He's still good. I believe in him. And I just feel like Chelsea is just not the environment for him. But I don't know. That's just my opinion. People can have their opinions. I feel like Enzo, obviously, the main reason people were not hating, but criticizing Enzo was because of the price tag. Obviously, Enzo is not worth 100 million. I feel like very few players in the world are worth 100 million, but that's just the release clause that Chelsea decided to pay to get him right away. If they had negotiated with Benfica long term, they could have gotten him for like 50, but they got him for 100 million because they wanted him now. The price tag obviously unjustified, but Enzo is a world-class player. I'm sure of it.
Yeah, I agree. I just think he moved to Chelsea too early. He should have waited until the summer. So, yeah, and Kukul plus Benzema would have been deadly. But yeah, dude, imagine those two players fit in the World Cup. Has this Enzo's mid? Nah, mid, come on, that's a bit harsh. That's harsh. Yeah. Don't say he's mid. Maybe you could say underwhelming. I can agree with you that, but mid is harsh. I don't agree with that. The second is also stem for the fact that Pochettino used to be a Spurs, the owner's fault. Not everything is the coach's fault. I agree. Prime Arsenal is behind struggling Man City. This isn't Prime Arsenal.
Yeah.
9 hug. Rashford is the most inconsistent player ever. Last season, people were calling him the best player in the world. Yeah, Rashford's like basically a purple patch merchant. Southgate's been doing much better at getting the best out of Rashford. I think England needs to replace Southgate, though. He hasn't getting the best out of the team. No, I think Southgate's good. I think Southgate's done a good job. I mean, look what he did in the World Cup, man. England played great. They just got beat by a better team. Southgate's going to rely on Bellingham. I mean, why wouldn't you rely on Bellingham? Bellingham's been fantastic, man. He did against Scotland, Italy, pointless judge in November. I knew Newcastle were going to struggle because of UCL games. How should I stay unless Newcastle can guarantee themselves an upgrade? Oh, this is why I think for Eddie Howe. If Newcastle don't get European football, then maybe you should consider sacking him. But I think Newcastle will at least get Conference League, so that's why I'm, I don't know. Do you think that's fair, what I say?
Yeah, I think it's fair.
Yeah, if Pau gets that, it might be like Chelsea second Tuchel. The injuries haven't helped. West Ham 6 reminds me of 2021 season. Prime Lingardinho. Kudus Alvarez have been excellent. Ward-Prowse upgrade too. I personally still wouldn't mind the England squad. Wouldn't want him. Yeah, England have better options. Feel bad for Diaby. Left because now they're winning the league. We'll get to that. Ward-Prowse could have scored the equalizer against France in the World Cup. I think he would have been good. I don't know about that. I don't know if he would score the equalizer. Oh, I think I know what he means. Because of that free kick that Rashford had, I think. He scored that free.
Like, that's super hindsight. Like, Ward-Prowse is a free kick specialist, but like, are you just gonna have him like England get that free kick in the last minute and Southgate says, "Okay, Ward, you're on"? Like, no, that it doesn't work like that.
Yeah, and it feels a bit like, who knows? If Ward-Prowse played, it could have been a completely different game. Like, who knows that free case?
Yeah, obviously. Oh, I think Arpon froze. Can you still see me, chat?
Okay, I think we're back. I don't know what just happened. Okay, I'm going to quickly run through the comments. Trent, Foden, Trippier, Kane, Loftus-Cheek, and Alexander-Arnold for Euros. Okay. I'm not going to talk about the Euros right now. We'll talk about that another time. Hello. Jordan is almost hit it. Okay, I'm not. That's. I don't want to speak about her. That Norwich game is still going to look at. Nunes kind of like Chelsea, Juventus, Morata gets a position but struggles to score. Yeah, I agree. That's probably fair. Or Nunes or Jesus. Who do I prefer? At this current moment, I prefer. You know what? I prefer Darwin Nunes. I think Darwin Nunes is better than Gabriel Jesus this season. I'm gonna say this right now. I know that might seem weird to say, but I think Darwin Nunes is better.
Maybe not at goal scoring, but overall player, I agree.
Yeah, Nunes is part of the vibes. Izzo is a world class, but maybe class, but not world class. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I think world class is a bit of a stretch. All right. Let's talk about which league we want to go to next. We're gonna have to quickly run through the other leagues because I have like 30 minutes left. So
I think let's do La Liga to make sure we cover that, and then try to see if we have time for the others.
Yeah. I don't think we'll give like a thorough overview, so we'll do like a quick overview, I guess. Maybe we'll do like 15th to 20th or something like that. Do it like together. That makes sense. Mm-hmm. So let's just talk about the relegation clubs. Clubs of relegation battle. I think it's fair to say Almeria's going to get relegated. I mean, they had a controversial game against Real Madrid, which I don't want to speak about here in the stream. I didn't even actually watch that game. Did you watch that game, by the way, Rink?
Yeah, I watched it. I was shocked when Almeria scored in the first minute of the game. And yeah, after that, it went downhill.
Oh, man. Let me just say that's one of the most controversial games this season.
That second half, very sketchy.
I don't want to speak too much, man. I don't want to speak too much, but let's just say that second half was it's better for you guys to watch than me discuss. All right, and Granada, I think is going to go down. Do you agree, Rank?
Yeah, those two are for sure, and after that, it gets interesting.
Yeah, Cadiz, Celta Vigo, Sevilla, Mallorca. Actually, which clubs do you think are safe?
I think Villarreal, I want to say, are going to be safe because they've been winning a few games, but I'm not too sure. I want to say Villarreal are safe. I feel like below them is where the relegation battle is going to be.
Okay. Sevilla, you guys better not get relegated. If you guys get relegated, it's actually messed up. I actually think maybe they need a relegation so that they can fix everything. Because I feel like if they just survive barely, they'll be like, okay, we did enough. We'll be good to go. And they'll continue to shenanigans next season. But if they get relegated?
You say that, but we can say the same about Valencia, who barely survived last season, and now they are much better. So,
I suppose that's true. So, I mean, in my opinion, I think Cadiz will find a way to survive, unfortunately, as much as I want them to go down. This team is like, they're going to get some draws, get some wins. They're going to get some late 1-0 wins probably late in the season. Celta Vigo, man, I'm surprised how bad they've been doing. I didn't expect them to be in this position. So, at this current moment, it's tough to say. I don't know. I think at this moment, I might edge with Mallorca, to be fair.
Yeah. At this moment, is like I said, it's really hard because they are so close in points and there are so many games to go. Personally, I think it's gonna be Celta Vigo, but I don't know.
The reason why I don't say Celta Vigo is because they're playing. I think they'll play. Actually, when do they play Barca? Let me check.
Oh, because
Celta
like
Vigo.
the Barca game is like a free win, right? Like, so.
Basically, at this point, we're just cursed that stadium. So that's why I think, in America they sold King Lee to PSG. That was that was one of their best players, if I remember correctly. So that's tough to say though. And then we'll see what happens. And Villarreal struggling, of course. They did get a big win at Barcelona though. And then obviously Rival kind of mid-table, kind of disappointed. They weren't as good as last season. Osasuna, they're struggling. Kubo, I'm not Kubo. What is it called? Abde. They don't have Abde anymore, so I think that's probably why they're struggling. I'm surprised with Alaves. I didn't think Alaves would be in this position. Are you surprised?
Yeah, same.
Yeah, and I think there's a striker. There's a really good striker they have. I forgot his name. It's like a really young striker. He had a great game against Barca. Speaking of Barca, they'll be playing against them this weekend, so I'm worried for that game, especially on the road. I think Getafe have done really well.
Samu?
Of course,
You mean Samu, right?
Yeah. I think that's probably what I'm talking about. Then obviously Getafe have done. Yeah, then obviously Getafe have been doing great. They had that former United player, which I don't want to speak his name, so you guys know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but I think these three clubs, Alaves, Getafe, and Las Palmas, are like the teams we are really surprised they are doing this well.
Yeah, Garcia Pimentel's done a great job with Las Palmas. Las Palmas defensively looks so solid. They're playing great. Valencia have also been impressing. The Real Betis, they've also been great. They've also been great. Not as good as they were in the past few seasons, but still great. Then we get to the top six, man. Okay, Real Sociedad, man. What's your thoughts about this club?
Real Sociedad, I feel like they are in a bit of a slump. They have not been as great as they were at the start of the season, and obviously when they had those amazing Champions League performances. Obviously they are still in the Champions League and they are going to be pushing for that. But yeah, right now it's not looking as good as it was before. So yeah, it's tough because they are declining a bit. It's a question right now. I don't know if they are going to be in the Champions League again next year. I feel like they should try to aim to at least get some sort of European football, not to get overtaken by like Betis or Valencia, because Valencia is in amazing form. So it's tough for Real Sociedad. They need to figure some stuff out clearly.
Yeah, I think the issue with the Real Sociedad is kind of what we talk about Newcastle. It's just the Champions League fixtures have congested them, and it's just unlike with Newcastle though, they actually top their group, so that also might be hurting the team. And obviously, they've done great as well this season. So, Athletic Club, man. Shout out to my former manager Ernesto Valverde. He's done a great job with this team. This team is playing really well, especially at home. They're very formidable. Guys, San Mamés is one of the most hostile atmospheres in La Liga. I'm not even joking around. I mean, seriously.
Yeah, that stadium is great.
Yeah, and he's just done a great job. And then we talk about my club. I don't even know what to say with this club. This club has been shambles this season. Like, defensively look abysmal. Romeo has been garbage. The attack is looking bad. I don't know what else to say, man. Rank, should I have any optimism in Barca, or am I right to be this negative? What do you think?
No. You're in the right, because obviously Barcelona is one of the biggest clubs in the world. There is no discussion about it. They should be contesting for big things. I feel like La Liga, the only team they are like forgiven to not winning it is like Real Madrid and maybe Atletico Madrid, but the other teams they should be beating or handling easily. Those should be the Barcelona standards. And obviously they should be contesting the Champions League. And I feel like it's just not possible with the current squad. The management of the club has been horrendous. So it's looking bad for Barca, and the fans have the right to be upset, even if they end up making top four, even if they end up, I don't know, winning Copa del Rey or whatever. The fans deserve to be angry.
We can win.
Still, I don't know.
Yeah. See, my issue with Barca is that I don't want to speak too much here because we're going to be here all day, so I'll keep this short and sweet. It's just that this season, obviously Xavi leaving mid of the season. Xavi announced that he's going to leave at the end of the season. Let's see how the players react to that. Let's see if the players are galvanized. And the only positive I'm looking forward to the second half of the season is Roque, because that's the only positive. Because Roque did score yesterday, by the way, guys, for his very first goal. So, yeah, I mean, because the attack is looking bad. Lewandowski keeps starting. He's not been great this season, been underwhelming. I called many times for him to be a bench or at least be a super sub, or maybe do Lewandowski, Roque. Like, Javi, do something different, man. Stop doing this 4-3 again and again. Like, try something out different, Wingers have been kind of bad. Rafinha's not been great this season. Ferran Torres actually been kind of decent, though. I think Ferran Torres might actually be one of the few positives I have. He's actually been kind of improving this season. Obviously, no DM. Gavi's been out. And I feel like Gavi was kind of our DM that we've had this season. Like, he was almost playing like his DM. I know he wasn't a DM, but he was kind of like, do you understand what I'm saying, Rank?
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, and then obviously defense been very sketchy. Araujo and Koundé, they haven't been great as last season. Obviously, we got Pena in goal, which I'm sorry, Pena's been awful. I don't want Pena. I'm getting to the point where I'm considering maybe selling Pena. Ter Stegen's also been injured. So there's a lot of issues with Barca. Injuries, the management is just a complete mess, man. I don't know what's much more to add there. Short-term signs as well. Yeah, but anyways, if I speak about Barca, we're going to be here all day, so I'm not going to speak much more. We'll save that for another time. The Atletico Madrid, man. What's your thoughts on Atletico Madrid?
It's difficult with Atletico Madrid because I feel like they are a great team. They play some good football. I feel like Morata has been on great goal-scoring form. Antoine Griezmann, I feel like, is one of the most underrated players of our generation because the man is incredible. Rodrigo de Paul, one of my boys, has been also playing really well. But I feel like lately, Atletico Madrid, they've been just kind of scraping by. They even had Depay is scoring some very late goals for them just to clinch some results here and there. I feel like they are not being consistent enough with their finishing. They like I said, they play some great football. It's not always translating into results. They drop some random games here and there, and they can be a bit shaky at times, especially in the defense. Oblak he's still a great goalkeeper, but he's not the same guy he was a few seasons ago, and I feel like it shows. It's kind of tough because they should be better than they are, in my opinion, and they are just kind of scraping by some results. Obviously, if they make top 4, you can maybe call that a success, but I feel like Atletico, with the squad they have, they should be aiming for more. Don't you agree?
Yeah, I would agree, because for me, getting top 4 is just very low. Like, these guys usually get top 4. I don't remember the last time they didn't get top 4. And for me, they should be coming for the La Liga, especially with how bad Barca have been this season. With how good Girona's been, like, there's really no excuse for Atletico Madrid. Really, no excuses. So I just think their away form hasn't been great. Obviously, Griezmann's been amazing for them. Probably one of the revolutions. Obviously, Lino as well. I think fullback's been pretty good. And I just think Atletico Madrid is just, at times they could just be a bit. They just drop points at games that they shouldn't be. They drop meaningless points, and that's kind of like, if you're going to drop points in those kind of games, you're just not going to win the league. It's just expected.
Yeah.
And then obviously we'll talk about my rivals, Real Madrid. They've been fantastic. Jude Bellingham has been amazing, and this team, even with a lot of injuries they have, like Courtois, Militao, Alaba, they're still doing really well without those players. And you can see this Real Madrid team just look amazing. They're looking like such a great team. Ancelotti's done a fantastic job. And I mean, they just, I don't know what to say, man. They've just been amazing. What do you think, Rink?
Yeah. Obviously, this is the title race. Like, it's Girona, Real Madrid, and no one else, I feel like, at this point.
Yeah.
The only team that can stop Real Madrid is Girona, and we'll discuss if they have enough in the tank later. Real Madrid, like you said, fantastic. The midfield, I feel like, has been putting up the most work. Obviously, like you mentioned, Jude Bellingham, who's been their main goal scorer, but also like Toni Kroos, I feel like he's having a bit of a renaissance, because for many times last season I thought that Toni was maybe a bit washed even, and that maybe like Camavinga and Tchouaméni should be getting more space, but Toni Kroos has been fantastic this season, putting in so much work. And obviously Rodrigo and Vinicius are still fantastic players that you can rely upon for scoring goals. And the goalkeeping position that we thought would be an issue, it's suddenly maybe it's looking a bit more solid. I I feel like a player that is super underrated, Dani Carvajal. I feel like he's
Oh
also
yeah,
a
Carvalho's been
fantastic
amazing.
player. So yeah, everything seems to be working out for this team, and it's just, can they get the job done? Because obviously they are 1 point, but they have a game in hand, which is huge. So like basically La Liga is in their own hands. So will they manage to do the job? Personally, I think they are going to win it, but Girona might have something to say about it. We don't know.
Yeah, and another thing that's also been interesting with Real Madrid is that they've been dealing with a lot of injuries. I know Barca fans saying, "Oh, we've also got injuries too," but Real Madrid, you can't. Barca's injuries not as bad as Real Madrid's. Dude, Militao and Courtois is pretty much out for the entire season. We haven't had only Gavi is out for the entire season, and I guess you could say Balde as well, but like it's just now, like Real Madrid have to deal with these injuries, and you have to give them a massive credit. And obviously, I don't really want to do this, but I gotta be fair here. I gotta be objective. That I gotta be honest. That Real Madrid just been fantastic, and even with the players they got, Joselu has even been decent for them. It's not been that bad. We thought this guy was a trash player.
Yeah. And obviously people can talk about all the controversial decisions they want. Obviously, that's probably what's going to get Real Madrid over the line. But you cannot deny that the team is fantastic. Like, that's something you can't deny. And they are going to be pushing for the Champions League as well, because they are still obviously in that competition. So it's their main competition. So they are obviously going to be contesting it.
Yeah, and there's only one controversial game you could say with Real Madrid this season, which was the Almeria game. Other than that, though, I don't think there's been any other controversy.
The Las Palmas game, the past weekend was also a bit kind of sketchy, but
okay. Oh, I didn't watch that game. Okay, but still, man, Real Madrid, they're Real Madrid for a reason. They just know how to get the job done. I did Girona, man. I feel really bad for Girona. This is because for me, this is all my hopes lies in Girona. I can't believe I'm even saying this.
No one can believe it, honestly.
So actually, Michel, man, he's done a fantastic job with this team. This team has been unbelievable this season. And you know what's crazy, guys? They only lost one game this season, which was to Real Madrid at home. Other than that game, they've looked flawless, amazing. And I believe in every game, they're just looking amazing. And this Girona team's been unbelievable. And I thought, because I remember early in the season, I made a video, can they get Champions League? Forget Champions League. They're trying to contend for the Premier League. I mean, not Premier League, sorry, contend for the La Liga trophy. So, yeah, I mean, player's amazing, man. Michel's done a great job. Some players that stood out, obviously, Gazaniga has been decent, I think. Daley Blind's been great. Eric Garcia. Savinho has been great. Who else has been amazing? I forgot the right back. Who's the right back for him?
The right back, I don't remember the name.
It's Koto. It's Koto. Koto. Yeah, Koto. That guy's been fantastic. Fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, the main piece that Girona are basically relying upon is Dovic. I feel like the entirety of the attack is surrounding by Dovic. If Dovic is not performing, I feel like Girona are potentially going to struggle. If Dovic is still in this amazing form, Girona have a chance. Like their chances, in my opinion, rely upon Dovic. He's going to be the main guy. And obviously, Savio is another player who's been racking up a tons of assists for them. This team is the real deal. They are not anymore like some fluke who were like top of the table because of the schedule or whatever. They are the real deal. So now, can they get over the line? It's going to be real tough, especially because their opponents is Real Madrid, which obviously we know how good they are at simply winning, no matter what. So it's going to be difficult. I hope they do it. I feel like everyone who isn't a Real Madrid fan is going to be rooting for Girona. Everyone likes to root for the underdog, but it's going to be very difficult, but they have a real chance, and that's crazy of itself,
Yeah, and I believe later this month they play against Real Madrid. That's going to be a big game.
That's basically the league deciding game. Like Girona, unless Real Madrid drop some points, they are going to have to beat Real Madrid, which is real tough.
Dude, maybe a draw. Actually, I don't know. Actually, would a draw be enough? I don't know. I don't think so.
A draw is enough if like Real Madrid drops points somewhere else because of the game in hand they have.
Yeah. All right, let's read some of you guys' comments. I didn't know you're okay. I mean, I know her, but I don't really want to speak. So let's move on. I do Serie A, then Bundesliga, then Liga Portugal. You'll probably have the most to say in that order in each league. We're probably not gonna have time for the other leagues. I'll be honest with you guys. So unless we do other leagues pretty quickly, I guess. But yeah, unfortunately, we're probably not gonna run out of time. We also did our trash because they don't have Kubo. No, Kubo is playing. Oh, I know what Kubo means. Like Kubo is playing the Asian Cup, and we also have drop points. Okay, I think that's what he means. Okay, that's probably a fair point. I completely forgot about that. You make a good point. Probably have the Kubo 180 says you have Ferran Torres country stuff. No, I don't think Ferran Torres has been bad this season. I don't think he's been that bad. I think he's improved compared to last season. So now, is he that amazing, world class? No, of course not. He isn't. But he is improving. Kubo 180 says Jude Bellingo. Vor says hi. Says read comments. I am reading. I want to read after each league is done. So I don't have to keep interrupting, you know. Albuquerque said, big up AD, we got Rank in the house. Yeah, Albert, man, thank you for joining. Vor said, don't look at the top leagues, but also more. Unfortunately, Vor, we're kind of, I don't think we'll have time to look at other leagues. We're kind of running out of time here. So maybe we'll look at it another day. Albert says, I was right about Drone.
Man, Albert is always right. He always gets us.
Albert said, I thought Spurs could win the league, but I like them to get top 4. Yeah, Albert's our genius, man. Albert is our genius. Genius indeed. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the next game. Next league. So what should we shoot in next, Frank?
Wanna do Bundesliga or Serie A?
Let's do Bundesliga, I guess. Then we'll do Serie A, then we'll do Liga on last. I mean, we probably don't even much to say Liga on.
Uber Eats.
Bundesliga, man. So, yeah, I mean, for the Bundesliga, let's quickly do a rundown. The relegation battle, Darmstadt, they're probably to go down. I hope they survive, though. It's. I believe this is I forgot which club. Is it them or Heidenheim? This is the first time they're ever playing the Bundesliga. I think Heidenheim's playing the first time ever, right?
Heidenheim.
Yeah, Heidenheim. Okay. And Darmstadt haven't played in the Bundesliga for a long time. Yeah, I think Darmstadt will unfortunately go down. I think Mainz will go down. Cologne, I think the relegation battle will stay the same. I don't think anything's going to change. Maybe Bochum might go down, to be fair.
Yeah, that's mostly it, because Union Berlin has been picking up some decent form. They started out horrendously, but now they are actually looking more decent.
Yeah, Augsburg is doing decent as well, which is kind of surprising. Gladbach as well, kind of in that scrap. Wolfsburg, very disappointed for Wolfsburg. I don't know what happens. This club has fallen off badly. Heidenheim has been doing fantastic. I mean, they're on. You know, I just realized they haven't lost again in the last 5 games. That's actually remarkable.
Yeah, they are doing a fantastic job. Like you said, first time in the Bundesliga, and they are comfortably surviving. Like they are doing so well.
Yeah, Werder Bremen is doing fantastic. This is a club I also thought would be in the relegation battle. Actually, I don't know if I had. No, actually, no. Actually, I forgot, honestly. But yeah, they're doing pretty good. They're doing a lot better than I thought they would be. Hoffenheim, you know, after disastrous last season, they're doing well this season. So shout out to them. Then obviously, Freiburg have kind of been doing all right, you know, kind of in that area. Frankfurt, doing decent. Leipzig, kind of disappointed Leipzig, man. I kind of thought they would do better.
Yeah, Leipzig definitely are a club that we usually see. Obviously, we know they are most likely not going to win anything. Maybe the DFA Pokal, obviously, but they are a team that we always expect to contest up there, and they were on a really bad streak, and right now we see them out of the top 4, which is very disappointing.
Yeah. I think they'll still be able to get top 4, but yeah, they got to improve that form. That form in the last 5 games looking bad. Dortmund as well, obviously, they're not having that great of a season, but you know they're still in that top 4, which is great. And obviously, let go Gio Reyna on loan with no buy option. I wish they just loaned him with a buy option, because I don't really want Reyna back at Dortmund. Ter's not being playing him much. And then obviously Stuttgart. Stuttgart's been incredible, man. And there is one reason why they're in the top 4.
Yeah.
And let me get that player up right. Guirassy, man. Guirassy has been unbelievable for them. He is incredible, you know. And he's actually contending with Kane for the top scorer in the league. So Stuttgart, man, it's incredible. Can they get top 4 rank? Or you still think that's a bridge too far?
If you asked me a few months ago, I would have probably said yes. Right now, like we see in their form, not really that great. They've been dropping some games. I feel like there's a real chance that Dortmund and Leipzig surpass them. But we'll see. Maybe like Girassi and also Undav. Undav has been really good for them.
Oh yeah, Undav.
If they can keep up that form, potentially they make the top 4. But right now, I feel like it's looking bleak. Maybe Leipzig will catch up to them.
Yeah, and then Bayern, man. Wow.
So
it's actually funny.
Eddie, can I ask you a question?
Okay.
If Bayern don't win the Bundesliga, do we need to have a conversation about Harry Kane, or is the man just doing his best and he's just, I don't know, cursed?
Okay. I think we need to have Mats come on as well.
It's
okay.
rough.
My answer. You know what's weird, man? Bayern have signed Eric Dyer. They're potentially okay. They're not going to sign Trippier. So, oh my God, the Spurs curse. Nah. You know, it's actually crazy though. Bayern have actually been really good this season. If you think about it, 15 wins, 2 draws, 2 losses. Actually been pretty good. This is actually better than last season's form, I believe. This is the best they've done in a while.
Yeah.
It's just that one club is doing incredibly well for like. I think I was hearing some Bayern fans say like, this is the best team that outside of Bayern have done the Bundesliga for this half of the season.
Yeah, and that's saying something because we've had some great Dortmund seasons in the past, but this Leverkusen team is just built different. They are doing an Invincibles right now. Obviously, we have a lot of games to go, but they have not lost. And obviously, you may look at that and say, oh, well, but they are so great. Obviously, they are not going to lose a single game. Even if you are the best team in the world, you are going to lose at least one game. You are bound to lose at least one. So, like, the fact that they are doing this, it's completely incredible. And, yeah, Bayern fans, I would get very worried, not only because Bayern at times, obviously, they are winning games. At times, Bayern is looking very shaky, but they are still winning those games. I would get worried because the team ahead of you is just so incredibly consistent and good that it's going to be tough to take them down, obviously. Obviously, that's the title race. No one else is getting close, but...
Oh, yeah. I agree with you 100%. I mean, look, literally, look, there's a 10-point gap.
Yeah.
Like, come on, no. Like, let me just say this right now, man. If Bayern don't win the Bundesliga, Tuchel has to get sacked. He's going to get sacked.
Yeah. And
Kane,
obviously, we are having Bayer Leverkusen against Bayern Munich on February the 10th, which is actually the same day that we are having Real Madrid Girona. So that Saturday is going to be insane for both leagues.
And don't forget, we also have the Asian Cup final that day as well.
Damn. So yeah, that's going to be a crazy Saturday.
Dude,
many crazy games that we
insane.
have to keep. Yeah.
We might have to do a match. We might have to react to all the games that day. I might have to
Super Saturday stream. Yeah.
Oh my God. It's just insane, man. It's just insane. But let me just say this right now, man. Kane, you better not lose the Bundesliga. You better not lose.
Bro, he has scored 23 goals in 19 games. He's doing his best.
But you know the sad thing is with these Twitter people and these agenda merchants are going to say, "Oh, look, Kane's joined. Bayern Munich lose the Bundesliga. It's all Kane's fault." That's all the media is going to say.
Yeah,
I can guarantee you that right now.
Yeah,
but if you actually think about it, it's not. I would say it's Tuchel's fault. I would say actually a lot of blame on Tuchel on the board.
Yeah, and the reason Bayern are contesting the league, it's because of Kane, who has scored like basically half their goals.
Yeah, and also take Kane out of this team. I don't think Bayern would be 47 points. I'm pretty sure they wouldn't.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. Kane, you got to come up clutch, man. You got to come up clutch because Matt's put it out here in the comments. If Bayern needs to win it away at Leverkusen, that's gonna be the big decisive game. Huge game. And you know what's crazy, Rank? Bayern Leverkusen have scored 2 late winners. I think they scored 2 late winners this month.
Yes. One was Ezequiel Palacios, my boy, and I'm trying to see who was the other one, the late winner. Obviously, they dropped points to Mönchengladbach last weekend, which was a bit unfortunate. Hincapié scored the last winner against Leipzig on the road, which was fantastic.
Yeah, that Leipzig game was crazy. That Leipzig game was insane. They had to come from behind, I believe.
Yeah. They were 2-1 down, and they made a crazy comeback, and Hincapié scoring in the last minute.
Yeah. So, Kane, man, you better not lose the Bundesliga title. And also, Coman, fun fact for you guys, Coman has never lost a league title ever in his history.
Yes,
so this also
because
this is
he
also,
was at Juventus, and was he at PSG
Bayern.
before? So like he never lost a single league.
Yeah, and then obviously at Bayern. So, oh man, there's a lot on the line here. So, I personally still think to this guy, I still think Bayern's going to win this league. I still believe they will some way, but it's going to be tight. So, I also have this feeling that Leverkusen, I don't know, do you think Xabi Alonso will just go all in for the Bundesliga and forget the Europa League? Because I also feel like they might try to go for the Europa League.
If he knows what he's doing, he has to focus on the Bundesliga. Like, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. You have other chances for European glory, I feel like.
Yeah, forget the Europa League, man. Go all in for this, because I don't think you'll ever have a season like this ever again.
Yeah.
So, yeah, let me read some of your guys' comments. I have a good nickname for your friend Gank. Okay. Oh man, the Bundesliga race is crazy. Union Berlin just bought him for Tessin. Oh yeah, that guy. I did what's it called? I think I did a Union SG save on FIFA 23, and yeah, Vertessa was one of my favorite players. That guy's a crushed play. That guy was amazing for me.
Mm-hmm.
A very underrated. Matt's channel says, I hope hoping Cohen keeps improving. I'm most likely going to support them after Harry Kane succeeds. Ligue 1 is not top 5 big yes, but we'll do Ligue 1, guys. Unfortunately, we still have to do that league. I know you guys don't really like to do it, but unfortunately, we have to do them, unfortunately. 2 to 3 years ago, Heinheim weren't good enough promotion. Couldn't beat Werder Bremen players. Now they're level with them in the league. Wayne should have left for Forest. Yeah, I'm not really a huge fan of that transfer. But it is what it is. I agree with Matt's. Why not Albert? Thank you, Albert. Kane will come on streak will break. I would want to quit if I didn't win anything this season as Kane. Man. Bayern Munich just needs to win away. Bayern needs to change things. I think the Portuguese league is above. Okay, League on for me comes down to style. Yeah. Okay. Rank. German media recognize how well Kane has been doing. No, I don't mean the German media. I mean like the Twitter fans. I mean those kind of people, the agenda, and maybe some other German fans as well. Bayern versus Leverkusen will show which curse is stronger.
True, big true.
And also, by the way, guys, Leverkusen have never won the Bundesliga before in their history. And remember, guys, this was the same club that screwed up the treble in 2002. They didn't even win any trophies that season.
Yeah.
Say to your friend, rank Gank. All right, Gank.
That's just a club.
Yeah, that's not a nickname. Albert Carnes, I can't speak. Okay, it's a poor league. It's good competition. That's pretty good for low. All right, let's go ahead and move on, man. Serie A, man. We're gonna quickly wrap things up, guys. We're running out of time, and I think we're being here a bit too long. Yeah, we probably spent too much time in the Premier League.
Yeah, honestly.
So, all right, Serie A, man. Ooh. I think it's fair to say which clubs are going down. Salernitana is going down. Empoli is going down without Vicario. I think they're going to go down. Cagliari.
I mean, the point gap is incredibly close if you look at it in this relegation battle. Like between Empoli and Sassuolo, there's only 2 points.
Okay, I think Salernitana is safe to go down, right?
Yeah, them I would say they will go down.
Yeah, actually, that's tight. So basically, which clubs do you think are in the relegation? Which clubs above do you think are safe? I think Monza is safe, right?
Monza is the last team safe. Yeah, Frosinone and everyone under is in the battle. I feel like.
Yeah, Frosinone has been amazing. Like I believe they haven't been. Is this the first time in Serie A ever in their history, or is it like first time in a long time?
I believe it's first time in a long time. I remember seeing them before somewhere.
Yeah, Lecce. Then I saw Sol in this pass, and Udinese. I'm surprised Udinese is this position. I didn't.
Yeah, both them and Sassuolo should be doing a lot better. I feel like.
Yeah. And Mons, obviously, they got newly promoted last season, and I believe it's the first time ever they compete in Serie A. They're actually doing pretty well. Genoa is doing great, decent. Torino is doing decent. Napoli been very, very struggling. Napoli been so bad. I mean, do you like? Is it all? What do you think is the issue with Napoli? Do you think it's a management's issue and that kind of stuff, or do you think the players are underwhelming, or do you think it's both?
I would say it's a bit of both. Definitely, I feel like the main issue is manager. With obviously with Spalletti, they did fantastic when they won the league, but right now it's really not looking great with their current manager. And they've been going through a lot of changes, and it's really not working for them. but also, like you said, like the players underperforming. I feel like it's a big issue. Some of the stars that obviously helped them win the Serie A, which is a huge accomplishment that they even won the Serie A, but sadly they are not performing to the same level again, and everything is piling up to having a very mediocre season now.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Bologna, man, I cannot believe Bologna's doing this well. Thiago Motta has done an incredible job with this team, and some players like Zerki's been amazing. He's been fantastic. Any other players that stand out from Bologna? I kind of forgot.
Arnautovic.
Arnautovic, yeah, that's a player that we've been critical of.
Yeah,
and he's doing well. And Bologna got some big results against the top 6 teams, I believe. I think they got some draws and I think some wins here and there, and they're doing fantastic. I really hope they can get European football.
Yes.
Yeah. And then, I want to get back to Napoli real quick. Do you think Osimhen will leave at the end of the season?
Yeah, he is gonna leave.
Yeah, I think it's very clear. I think I saw CBS Sports did an interview with him, and he says, "I've already decided. I've already made my mind." So I think it's obviously it's not like it's not directly stated, but it's like indirectly,
Yeah. He's been having a lot of troubles with Napoli, the board, the social media stuff was crazy.
Oh yeah. I don't want to speak too much about that here, but if you guys don't want to talk about it, check that out for yourself because that's wild. And I don't want to get stuck in that
stuff. Who says
here.
Arnautovic is at Inter? My apologies.
Arnautovic is at Inter.
I'm still thinking about last season, definitely.
Actually, let's look at the Bologna roster real quick. I want to just check theirs real quick. I think it's fair we look at the roster. So Bologna, Zerki's been great. Ferguson, Aslani, Nanduyo. Yeah, I don't really recognize many of these players.
Orsolini, their forward, is the one I'm mostly looking at.
Yeah. Actually, I think I know. Actually, is this guy from Atalanta, Freuler, or is this a different Freuler?
Yeah, Remo Freuler, obviously Switzerland international and was at Atalanta last season.
Yeah. So I recognize that guy. Yeah, I don't really recognize these players. And this is crazy, man. To do this well with these guys.
They also have John Lucumi, who is a Colombian defender who I really rate.
Yeah, incredible, man, incredible. Bologna, man, I hope they can get European football. Do you think they can?
Yeah, they can. I mean, it's tough because Lazio has been in amazing form, as we see, but they can make European football.
I don't trust Lazio on the road. I don't trust that club on the road in particular, so there is a good chance Bologna can get. Fiorentina they're doing well, of course. Roma, mid-season they sacked Jose Mourinho, which was a bit of a harsh decision in my opinion. Do you agree with that decision?
Well, it's clear that whenever I often tune in for the Roma games because obviously there are a lot of Argentinians playing there, but it's clear that Roma doesn't play well. Most of the points they were getting, they were just scraping by, and I feel like with the talent they have, they should be doing a lot better. Obviously, we have Leandro Paredes, Dybala, Lukaku, not Mancini. What am I saying? This other guy, Pellegrini, is a player I really like. So I feel like Roma should definitely be doing a lot better than they are, and they should be playing better football. So I kind of understand the decision, but if you look at the table, they are not really doing that bad, and they are still in a position where they can make top 4, but I don't know, it's tough.
And they could also still win the Europa League. That's all, like I would at least him and give him at the end of the season, and if things don't go well, then you could have sacked him. But it is what it is. They brought in a former amazing player. I forgot his name. Who's the player they have as a coach?
Daniele De Rossi, who also played for Boca at the end of his career. That was a random signing.
Yeah, he's obviously one of the most famous players. And obviously we know how legendary he was a player. So let's hope he succeeds well for Roma's sake, because I don't want him to get sacked at the end of the season. That would be very sad. Just coming midway through getting sacked. Yeah. But yeah, and then Atalanta's doing really well. A few seasons out of the Champions League now, they're looking great. They're playing this pragmatic approach. They're not playing that free-flowing attacking football. And that Lookman guy has been incredible for them. He's been amazing for them. We've seen, been amazing. Milan, kind of disappointed with Milan, man. I thought they'd do better. I think the injury concerns have been kind of getting to them. And then obviously, I don't know. I might have overhyped Milan at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, probably. Because things have not really worked out the best. Obviously, Milan is still a great team, and we see that they are heads and shoulders above, that 4th place battle. They are comfortably going to be in the Champions League next season, but they are definitely not contesting for the league, which is probably what most people would have expected out of them, and especially with the signings they were making. So
Yeah.
definitely disappointing for them. I feel like Rafael Leao doesn't seem like the same guy anymore, which is sad to see because at one point he was considered one of the best wingers in the world, and right now he's not having the same form. So we're going to have to see how they develop because they are going to be in the Champions League. I'm confident in saying that, and they have to make a good performance and obviously push for the Serie A again next season.
Oh yeah, 100%. Do you think Pioli's at fault for this, or do you? Because for me, I don't think that Pioli is that good of a coach, in my opinion.
Yeah, he's not that good of a coach. Potentially, he may be the issue because I really rate many of the players that Milan has, but we're gonna have to see.
Yeah, let's just see how the season ends, and obviously they're in the Europa League, so maybe if they win the Europa League, that could be, I guess, somewhat salvageable. Because let's be real, we obviously know they're going to get top four. That was never really a doubt. It was just a matter, can they win the league? And for me, they kind of disappointed in that sense. But I think if they win if they win the Europa League, that's, I guess, somewhat fair, right? Like it somewhat make up for the league, right? I guess.
Yeah, I agree.
So, yeah, definitely. Juventus, man, of course, fantastic this season. Of course, I mean, it's to be expected. If they weren't in this position, that would be embarrassing because no European football. And doing fantastic to see. If Vlahovic is looking like exploding, he's looking like that player that we thought he was. And McKennie's done great as well. This Juventus team looked pretty good, man. Once again, are they going to win this league? That's the big question for Juventus. And do you have any thoughts
it's
about Juventus?
It's going to be close.
Yeah, it's going to be very close indeed. Yeah, I mean, how impressed have you been with Juventus, or should we not be impressed? Or
I mean,
I don't know, what do you think?
I'm decently impressed because obviously we saw how abysmal Juventus were last season. Bombing out of the Champions League and not having many good performances across the league. They were very shaky. Obviously, they ended up getting banned from European competitions, but they were still not doing great for Juventus standards, and a lot of people were pointing fingers at Allegri, who was still playing like this pragmatic style that didn't fit the club, and misusing the players that he had available to him. And now the club, with not many changes, because the squad looks basically the same. You still have, Szczesny, Bremer, Vlahovic, Weston McKennie, Milik. You still have these players, and the club looks completely different. Like, they are playing some great football, and they are putting up amazing displays, and now pushing for the title again, which is where Juventus should be. Obviously, they are the team that has won the most Serie A by far. So they should definitely be pushing for the title, and it's good to see them in that position again. And like I said, they didn't make many changes, so it's amazing that they are in this position again.
Yeah, I think Vlahovic has been. I think Vlahovic has had a breakthrough. I think the season Vlahovic has really exploded. I think that's the reason why Juventus are in this position. So I got to give credit to defense, because we've been very critical of Juventus defense last season. It was so bad. This season they've been pretty good. 13 goals conceded across 22 games is incredible.
Yeah.
And then Inter, man, wow. This is a team that I thought would do bad this season, especially with all those big players being sold this season. I was very pessimistic. They sold Brozovic. Onana was sold. And who other? Oh, yeah. Skriniar was sold, I think. Any other big players? I can't remember the top of my name.
You already mentioned Brozovic, right?
Yeah, Brozovic, Skriniar, Onana going. Those are like three integral players.
Yeah.
So, and they replaced them adequately. Like Pavard's been
Lukaku, I guess you could say as well.
Yeah, I mean, that was a long thing, but yeah, I mean, I guess it was good to get rid of him permanently after that. Champions League final performance. Yeah. And then Thuram has been incredible, man. This Marcus Thuram guy has been unbelievable. Yeah. Shout out to Marcus Thuram.
8 goals, 7 assists. Yeah, Lautaro, 19 goals, top scorer of the league. It's great to see him in this form. Obviously, after the World Cup, there were many doubts surrounding him, and he's showing that he is still one of the best strikers in the world, and I'm super happy to see that. So yeah, all around this Inter team is fantastic. Obviously, Çalhanoğlu, Mkhitaryan is still putting up some great displays, and the defense, like only 10 goals conceded, is amazing. Jan Sommer is still being incredibly solid for them. Di Marco is
just a fantastic
player. Yeah.
That's insane.
It's really crazy. So, like, the defense with Bastoni, Di Marco, De Vrij
Pavard's
is
been great.
looking really good. Pavard has even been looking great. I don't know, like even players like off the bench, like you can bring up Acerbi, Alexis Sanchez, obviously Arnautovic, who I mistook for being at Bologna before. I apologize, but it's also being a great bench player for them. So like everything about this Inter team looks fantastic. Obviously, they have Juventus, who is also being really, really great. But this Inter team looks completely unstoppable. And we're going to have Inter against Juventus this Sunday, which is going to be like a huge game to determine who's going to win the league.
Yeah, I definitely need to keep my eyes upon that game. And maybe we'll just do a Twitch stream after the game. Do maybe Football Manager, discuss about that game as well. So we'll see, man. We'll see. But yeah, I mean, Inter have been fantastic, man. Absolutely fantastic. And for me, Italian clubs, this is your best hope to do well in Europe this season. Because for me, Lazio, Napoli, it's going to be tough for them to do well in the Champions League.
Yeah.
So Inter is probably your only hope.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess maybe Milan to some extent, the Europa League. And maybe
true.
as well. But yeah.
Yeah.
And then obviously Fiorentina is doing well in the Conference League. All right. Yeah, and Inter Milan, they've been fantastic, man. Inter's been amazing. All right, finally, the last league we'll discuss. I know a lot of you guys don't like this league. I don't really like this league as well, but we got to be fair here. We got to be fair. Discuss about this league, the French league. So yeah, I mean the French league, man. I mean, it's actually pretty interesting. You got here. Lorraine's obviously been terrible this season. Not been great. Clermont-Foot. Yeah, this relegation battle though is pretty tight. Is this? You know what? Actually, I think this might be the best relegation battle in the top 5 leagues.
This and Serie A. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So, excuse me. So I mean, yeah, this is going to be tough to say. So, which clubs do you think is safe beyond? Which clubs do you think is safe? I think Strasbourg is safe, right?
Yeah, Strasbourg is probably the last club that is safe in my eyes.
Yeah, Le Havre is doing pretty well. I believe it's the first. I believe it's the first time they've been in the league on for a long time now. Montpellier, around that area. Nantes have been disappointed, of course. Toulouse, underwhelming as well, but I think the Europa League's going to get into them. Metz, and obviously Lyon's been incredibly bad. Do you think Lyon will survive rank?
I'm really scared. I hope they do, because obviously Lyon is one of the biggest clubs.
In France.
Yeah, I would say, like, obviously there's PSG, Marseille, Saint Etienne, who's in Ligue 2 currently. But those are probably like the big 3. Probably Lyon is the 4th biggest club in France. And if they relegate, it's going to be crazy. So I honestly hope they survive, but they've been picking up some wins. Obviously, we've seen their form that they have 3 Ws in the board. But it's looking very, very tough. I don't know. They're gonna cut it really close. I feel like with the other teams, with Metz, with Toulouse, with Nantes, it's gonna be really close.
Yeah, Lyon, you better survive, man. You better survive. If Lyon don't survive, this will be embarrassing. And remember, guys, just because you're a big club doesn't mean you can't go down. Saint Etienne went down a few seasons ago. So Lyon, don't think that we're too big of a club, we can't go down.
Yeah, definitely.
Don't think that. And also, I know you guys in the relegation playoffs, so you're lucky, but don't take the playoffs for granted.
Yeah, but because the team coming up from there is going to be super motivated, it.
Yeah, so I wouldn't take that chance. So yeah, Metz is doing decent. Actually not doing decent. Oh my god, horrendous form. 5 L's.
Yeah.
I think the relegation is going to stay the same, except I think Lyon will actually finish 15th. I say, and I think Metz will go down. I think Metz will be the relegation playoffs. So
potentially.
Yeah, potentially, man. Potentially. Oh, yeah, I forgot to say this, guys. I want to go back. Sorry, I should have mentioned this. I believe Almeria is the only team in the top 5 leagues that haven't even won a game.
Oh, that's really rough. I kind of feel bad for them, especially because of that Real Madrid game. But yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, very, very disappointing. Then obviously moving to the top 9 here. Rennes obviously kind of been disappointed, obviously, but I think the loss of Doku probably affected the squad. Do you agree?
Yeah, I agree. Doku was their main guy going forward. I believe he was the guy who was rocking the most dribbles in the top 5 leagues, like, period. He was making the most dribbles and was like the most successful with them. He's just super good with his dribbling and his pace. And yeah, he was the game changer for runs. And yeah, right now they are looking like a mid-table club, which is very disappointing.
Yeah, Lawns have also been disappointed as well after having won the league last. Not winning the league. Coming very close to winning the league last season, of course. But they're still in the Europa League, so that maybe they'll look for that. Marseille have been an absolute mess. I don't know what's wrong with Marseille. This club's a joke. I'm sorry. This management's a joke. And this is sad for man. Come on, they can't be seventh, man.
Yeah, no, definitely not. They should be pushing for Liga. This is not it.
Yeah, Reims. Oh yeah, by the way, guys, I'm doing a Marseille save on my Twitch channel, so this club probably needs all the help they can get. So follow me on Twitch in the description below. And then Reims also been. Yeah, Reims also been doing. They're actually doing really well, which is surprising without Balogun, which is actually incredible.
Yeah, right.
So, and obviously they got the manager that plays Football Manager, so shout out to him. I forgot his name. Is it Will Still? I think it's Will Still's the coach.
Will Still, yeah.
Yeah, shout out to him, man. Shout out to him.
He's a true gamer.
Yeah, Lille. Actually, you know what? I think Lille's been doing decent. I considering how bad they were in the last couple of seasons, I think this is good for them.
Yeah, this is a good performance.
Yeah, then Monaco, they're doing pretty well. You know, with Balogun there after not getting Europe last season, which was simply embarrassing. They have improved.
I'm personally a bit disappointed, but that's maybe because I overhype Monaco. I feel like they should be closer to PSG, but they are a 10 points gap. Like, geez, it's not good.
Yeah. And then I cannot believe this club is third. Brest is third.
Bro, yeah, Brest, who were like relegation battle team for like the longest time. They are on a crazy win streak and they are looking fantastic. I don't know how they managed to do this, and we may potentially see Brest in the Champions League next season, which is gonna be crazy.
I actually want to see the players. I want to see the players. Well, I don't recognize. Oh, wait, actually, hold on. I think I know the guy. Artadari. He's I
mean, he's in the Morocco shirt. Yeah, so like.
Yeah, I don't recognize
an international players, at least.
Yeah, I don't recognize.
What is this team? This is actually like a FM region team. It's crazy.
Guys, what if they win the league, guys? What if they win the league?
No, but the realistic chance is that they are gonna be in the Champions League.
Yeah, I know they won the league, but okay, guys, let me just say this right now: if Brest win the league, is this the craziest thing you've seen in your lifetime?
It's gonna be pretty crazy.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, it's insane. I don't know any of those players. I'm not gonna even lie to you guys. At Nice, this is pretty nice. They're doing this position. Obviously,
I see what you did there.
Obviously, they were at one point, like I think at one point they were like unbeaten for a long time. Then they had a really good defense, and 9 goals conceded, 11 goals conceded is pretty astounding. And unfortunately, PSG is first, which I mean, what is there? Is there to be surprised with?
Yeah, nothing surprising about that. They are most likely going to win the league. Even there's a 6-point gap, maybe potentially Nice can like cut it close, but PSG is going to win the league. We all know it.
And by the way, guys, they did drop points to Brest at home after being 2-0 up.
Yes, like I still don't believe that PSG is the most consistent, and it's going to be scary for them in the Champions League, which is probably goes to show that Liga is really not a test for them. Like, it doesn't really test your strength, let's say.
Yeah, and so let's be real, man. It'd be a lot harder for PSG to not win the league than win the league. Let's be real.
Yeah.
So obviously, all of us, I think, are rooting against them. I don't think anyone wants PSG to win. Well, maybe except one Swedish person, which I'm not going to mention his name. But yeah, I mean, I think most of us are rooting for Nice to do this. Yeah, I don't know how close do you think Nice will make it, and then we'll talk about the Portuguese league, I guess. Real quick.
I'm gonna say 5 points. It's not gonna be that close.
Yeah. All right, Matt. Since Matt has been kind of persistent and wants us to discuss the Liga NOS, let's just look at that real quickly. Then we're gonna head off. That's what the last one. Right. Okay, guys.
Let's go, Matt.
And apparently they changed the league name, because I thought it was Liga NOS. Now it's Liga Portugal, right?
It's just Liga Portugal. Yeah, right.
Yeah, I don't know why they changed the league name. Whatever. Okay, last league we're discussing, guys. Then we have to head off because it's almost 2 hours.
So what a surprise! We have a 3-horse race like every single year.
Oh man, we're only going to talk about the title. We're only going to talk about the title race. I don't even want to look at the actually. Let's look at the relegation real briefly. Okay. Jeez, this club doesn't even have a badge.
Many of these clubs don't have a badge, even the mid-table ones.
What the heck? Okay. Anyways, let's talk about the top 4. Actually, top 3. Can Braga win this league rank?
No, Braga is out of this. They have to make European football, and that's about it.
And Matt just put it out here in the comments. They drew at home to the bottom of the league.
Yikes. It's not looking good, guys.
How do you tie it to the worst team in the league at home? See, it's one thing if you do it away, which even that's still bad, but I would at least excuse you, right?
Yeah. I mean, but this comes from a Barcelona fan, so it's not.
Oh man. Okay, and then obviously Porto have been amazing. They've been fantastic. I still think that's Remy departure though, because I think he's gonna leave at the end of the season. So Porto have to do everything they can to win the league for Taremi.
Yeah. And obviously there are a lot of Premier League clubs, that have been scouting for Alan Varela, my boy from Boca. He's been really performing for Porto. I believe he scored in back-to-back games, which he didn't really do a lot of that in Boca, being a CDM. So he is putting up some great defensive performances, and even offensively, obviously, with the scoring and the assisting. So they are going to have to try and hold on to him because he's a really great jump prospect, I feel like.
Yeah, and also, Porto, man, you probably need to win the league this season, because if you guys don't, it'll be probably harder next season, because Taremi's going to leave, I think. Who else is probably going to leave? Varela might leave. Some of the players might leave, so I mean that'll be interesting. And obviously Benfica have been fantastic. Despite how bad they've been in the Champions League, they've been fantastic in the league, so that's great to see. Obviously, they did sell one of their big players, Musa, to FC Dallas. We'll do our MLS preview, by the way, in coming weeks, and obviously Rank will be there, hopefully, right?
I'm not gonna hide from. Guys, don't look up how the Miami game is going, please.
Oh yeah. Well, I prefer not to speak about that game. But anyways, Benfica's doing a great Sporting, man. I really want Sporting to win this league. I want Sporting and Braga to win this league. Actually, I want Braga the most, but I don't think Braga's realistic. So Sporting's probably your hope. Man.
Yeah.
They're doing fantastic, man. That striker they got, I think it's Gokares. He's been fantastic, I think, right?
Yeah, a crazy goal scoring form for him.
Yeah.
15 goals. So really, really good. And also 8 assists. So he's pretty much everything in the attack for Sporting.
Yeah, and guys, if you want the best title race, I think it's the best title race in Europe. In my opinion. Of all the major
most of the other leagues, La Liga, Premier League, Bundesliga are maybe 2 teams. Even Serie A, it's only 2 teams in all of them. This one is actually 3. So maybe it's more competitive in a way.
Yeah, so it's definitely interesting. Anyways, Rank, I think let's just look at some comments and we're gonna head out, I guess. We've been here for a long time. Actually, I just realized I haven't read the comments in a while, so I'm sorry for that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, okay. That's pretty good. Vor, lol. Albert, Belgian league above Portuguese league and French league for me. Nah, I think the Portuguese. I'm sorry. I think the Portuguese league is better than Belgian league and French league. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Okay, I think the Portuguese league is above Ligue 1 for me. It comes down to style of play, talent, export, and overall trophies. Yeah, I would say Portuguese league has been performing better in Europe than Ligue 1.
Yeah, that you can say.
Yeah. I can't speak much for Belgian league, but I wouldn't say it's a poor league. There's exciting competition usually, though. That's pretty good. For low. If you want to discuss the league on, rename the series top 5. Low. Also, to Albert's point about the Portuguese league, their teams do better in Europe than Ligue 1. Also, good observation, Mats. Port San Antonio, Ochoa deserves better. Napoli. So plays like Prime Barca against the top 6 teams.
No.
Yeah, that's true. Fiorentina hopefully finish a European spot. They're getting below T. I'm sorry, Belotti is trash. I don't care what anyone says. That guy's horrible. Okay, I'm sorry. That guy's a disgrace, especially for the national team. Maybe club level he's not as bad. For the national team, he's a disgrace. I don't know. Do you agree with me, Rank?
Yeah.
So, I can't even believe even Roma even signed in the first place. That was a really bad idea, in my opinion. Abdullah can still save calculator for relegation low. Okay, hopefully for your sake.
Yeah.
Kubone says that Arnautovic plays for Inter. Albuquerque says, it's been a while since I've seen Atalanta in the top 4. Yeah, Juventus looking really good these days. When you think about legendary Juventus midfielders, we think of Pirlo, Zidane, Nedved, now Weston. Don't put McKenny in that conversation.
So true, Albert.
Nah, you can't put him there, man. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. No, you can't do that, man. Oh, man. So, De Rosa, Boca legend. No, he's not a Boca legend.
No, he scored in his debut game and then never again. I still remember.
At least he scored a goal. It's like with Aguero, man. Aguero scored at least Aguero scored before he had to retire.
Yeah, and against Real Madrid. So that's
that's true, man. That's true. As it says, you made to win the league. I think Mourinho was right to go. Too low in the table for too long, and his head-to-head record against the top 10 hasn't been so bad. I understand that, Matt, but there's still a Europa League you could win. You know, because honestly, do you really think Roma can win the Europa League without Mourinho? I don't think so. Now, if Roma wins the Europa League without Mourinho, Mourinho's gonna be so angry.
Yeah.
So, Juventus will win the league after being so poor with their finances. Somehow, it's all thanks to Ronaldo. Yeah, the Ronaldo effect is true, man. Ronaldo effect is true. So, okay. We're at 10 likes. Let's go, man. 10 likes. I'm going for Inter Milan to win the league. Master say, look at Sebastian's not here writing PSG propaganda. He's bribed by the Swedish PSG fan. The Master says the only league on team that's worth talking about is Brazil. Okay. I'm not gonna read that second part out loud, but okay. Where's this low? Man, what happened to Leon? Yeah, 5 years ago, Leon embarrassed Man City, was now playing the UCL semifinal. I'm just low. I'm just happy to see Kang Lee having a good season. Hopefully, he boosts a better club. Yeah, I don't think he should stay at PSG. So, all right, on to the 5th best league. Sporting are still doing well. Benfica have been improving. Porto started badly with the draw away to City rivals Boavista. Porto got a big win against Braga. Porto, I still think need 4 points against the title rivals. Kubone says it will be in their hearts, at least. Braga have fallen out of the title race. Last night they drew at home to bottom of the league. I would say it'll be pretty crazy if they win the league. Matt Jones says Porto actually doing better without Jeremy, to be honest, this season. And I'm gonna say, see, Al Nassr is winning.
Neither Messi or Ronaldo are playing, by the way.
Is Messi on the bench?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, there's no point bringing him on. Man. Yeah, I just saw the score, man. Al Nassr has 4-0 up. Oh,
no, that must be fake news. Like, did you see the Laporte goal? It was like from his own half. That was crazy.
Oh my god. Oh my god. It was almost like, remember that goal that I think someone scored in the AFCON. The keeper was out of the net.
Oh yeah. Yeah, sort of like that.
Yeah. Or the Patrick Schick goal. I remember the last Euros. Actually, the Patrick Schick goal is probably a better example because that was like on his own half, I think.
Yeah.
Anyway, do you know what, guys? Let's stay around for like a few more minutes that we're gonna have. Let's do up to 2 hours. Why not? So, what minute is the Al Nassr game on?
50 something, 54.
Okay, we're not gonna wait until the game ends. But we're gonna see. Wow, it's 4-0. Jeez.
Miami are so bad, man. Like, we are actually not gonna make playoffs again with like prime Barcelona.
Even with expansion, man. Even with expansion.
Yeah, it's actually tragic.
You know, you're lucky that MLS doesn't have relegation. Otherwise, you'd be screwed.
Actually, true.
MLS have relegation, you guys be screwed. All right. So yeah, let's see what we have. Some games later today in the top 5 leagues. We have obviously West Ham is playing later. I'm gonna have 30 minutes, 5 minutes actually from now. West Ham versus Bournemouth. I mean, West Ham should win, right?
I would expect them, to win.
Yeah. Oh, you know, I was just actually looking at this. Ben Rama Kofal is suspended for this game.
Ooh.
And Aguard and Otora are international. Well, Aguard should be back, right? I guess he didn't make it back in time.
Yeah, no.
Okay. And then obviously Wolves Man United. That's gonna be starting in starting around 40 minutes, man. Obviously, we're all hoping Wolves win, right?
I mean, sure. It's gonna be a tight game, I think.
Yeah. Hopefully Wolves win. That'll be awesome.
And obviously, we have a huge game in La Liga. Getafe against Real Madrid.
Huge game is probably a bit of a stretch, but okay, I guess that works.
Okay, but because Real Madrid are contesting the league, that's basically every game is a huge game.
Okay. Okay. If you talk from that sense, I suppose. But yeah, Real Madrid actually playing Atletico Madrid this weekend, I believe, in the Madrid derby this weekend.
Yeah.
That's insane. There's just so many games. There's just too much football, man. I it's just too much, man. Too much.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch Boca in like 2 hours and a half. I'm really not looking forward to that.
All right, let's read some comments that we're gonna head out, guys. Thanks for reminding us, Albert. How has Timothy Weah been doing? Oh yeah, I forgot to talk about him. I don't like what Allegri's doing with him. He's playing him as a wingback, I think, which is absolutely disgraceful. Because he is not a wingback whatsoever. So the only thing that's good is that he's in the Champions League, I guess, which is great. But yeah, I mean, I wish he didn't go to Juventus. He should have just gone to Milan, man. His father played for Milan, right?
Yeah, George Weah was like a Milan legend, basically.
Yeah, and obviously he's probably not going to join. Actually, you know what? I mean, I don't know. We've seen some Juventus players go to Milan, so maybe there's a chance in the future, but it's probably unlikely. So, yeah. Albuquerque, I didn't know why Suarez joined. Lol, with the knee injections he needs, he should retire before he seriously hurts himself. And what do you think? Actually, I don't want to speak too much about this. We'll go save for MLS preview, but just give me your brief thoughts. Do you think Suarez was a good sign or a bad sign?
I mean, good signing in the sense that I think even at his age and with the injuries that he had, that Suarez is a better striker than Joseph Martinez. But I'm getting a bit worried that Inter Miami are sending a lot of players just for clout, basically, like making a lot of signings just because of their names. Because I still think that Suarez is a great player. We saw that he was one of the top goal scorers of the Brazilian Serie A, which is super tough. I believe that the Brazilian Serie A is a better league than MLS for sure. But I'm getting a bit scared that we are only signing like PR players, and we have a lot of players in the starting 11 above their 30s. So you're not going to get far with that. I feel like you need to actually sign some young talent and
sign Neymar, please.
No, we don't need Neymar. We're fine. I love Neymar.
I need MSM at MSM, please. I need MSM at MSM, please.
Just for the sake of it, sure. You know what? Yeah, sign Neymar.
Okay, just for one season, okay?
One season, and we have MSN, and we finish dead last in MLS, and
you know what? Let's do it. We'll sign on career mode. How about
that? Yeah, actually true.
Yeah. Oh, good question, Matt. I'm glad Weah is UCL bound. Yeah, that's probably the only good thing I see with Weah is at least he's going to get Champions League next season.
Now Weah needs to win a Ballon d'Or like his dad, like that's what.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true, man. That's true. All right, last comment, then we're gonna head out. Albuquerque, I look at you well with Weah, what he did with Cuadrado. I don't know. I think it's gonna affect the national team, man.
Yeah. Cuadrado was also playing like as a sort of left back at some point for the national team, and it looked really bad.
Yeah. All right. So I think we're gonna round up here, guys. We're getting close to the 2-hour mark, so hope you guys did enjoy today's stream. So let's see how many likes we're on today's stream. We're at 9 likes. So can we get up to 10 before we head off? Let's get up to 10 before we head off, guys. So let's see. Are we at 10? Come on. Still at 9. Come on. Let me see. Have I looked for my account? I think I did. Let me just check. Hold on. So yeah, can we get up to 10 likes before we head out? Yeah, there'll be times in the description below for you guys if you guys want to play. So okay, I just liked from my alt account, so let's see. It should work now. Come on, get me up to 10. Okay, we're at 11. Okay, that's good. That's good. Okay. All right. So thank you for joining Rank. It's been a while since you've been on the channel. I think it's the first time you've been here on my channel in the new year, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I know you've been pretty busy. I've been pretty busy as well. So hope you guys did enjoy. Remember, guys, to like and subscribe. And yeah, one last thing before I head off, guys. How do you like the audio quality with my new mic? Is it good now? Is it better or still the same? Or it's good? Yeah,
I think it's better because there's like no more like static noise like there was before.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. All right. Anyways, I'm gonna head off, man. I think I've spoken around 2 hours. I think it's a long time, so I think we should head out. Remember, guys, to like and subscribe on your way out. Check out my other podcast description below. And remember, guys, we'll be doing our member stream tomorrow, guys. So any members out there, please join us tomorrow at Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I hope we can see you guys there. Like and subscribe. Check out my other podcast description below. And yeah, I'll see you guys later, man. Peace out.